Why play Skarner Jungle? Well, his single targets lockdown is amazing, his base stats are just incredibly high, he can stun entire teams, and he provides really solid constant damage. However, he can be kited having no dashes, and he is pretty weak before he gets his ultimate. Skarner's passive makes these crystal spires spawn around the map. Either team can stand on top of one to capture it for their team, and when captured, it cannot be taken by the other team for 15 seconds. While Skarner's in range of these crystal spires, he gains massive amounts of attack speed, movement speed, and restores a ton of mana. Skarner's Q makes him deal damage in an area around himself, and if it hits an enemy, he becomes charged for 5 seconds, making his Qs deal additional damage. This ability has a very low cooldown, and on top of it, it has a passive where attacks against champions reduce its cooldown by 1 second more, and attacks against minions reduce it by 1/4 of a second. Also, good to note, it doesn't interrupt your attacks in a fight, so you just want to absolutely spam this. Skarner's W gives him a shield for 6 seconds and increases his movement speed for 3 seconds. Skarner's E is a straight line skill shot which deals damage, slows, and marks all enemies hit. If Skarner attacks an enemy who's marked, the attack will deal additional damage and stun them. This also has a passive where when you CC an enemy with this ability or your ultimate, it lowers the cooldown by the duration of the CC. Skarner's ultimate is a point and click ability which suppresses the target and allows you to drag them in a direction. At the start of and the end of the ability, the suppressed champion takes a chunk of damage. For combos, speed yourself up with W and then use E. Use Q just before you get to attack range, then attack for the stun. From here, keep spamming Q and attacks. And of course, use ultimate as needed. For matchups, Skarner does very well into duelists who can simply lock down and stop from playing the game. However, he can struggle against champions who can kite him or remove his ultimate. For runes, take this, you're all about going fast. For build orders, start Green Monster and Pot into tier 2 boots and a Frozen Fist. From here, a Chem Tank and Deadman's are great pickups before finishing a build with any of these. For skill order, start Q, then E, then W before maxing Q, then W, then E, taking ult whenever you can. For summoner spells, take Flash and Smite. At the beginning of the game, before minions even spawn, you want to go with your team and capture the spire in the river near where you're starting. It grants gold and gives you a good way to track the enemy jungler should they take it. Starting the jungle clear, there are multiple routes available to you, but the best one will always be a 6 jungle camp clear into taking a spire in the river and then taking Scuttle Crab. We always prioritize taking the spire first as it makes you way too strong in a 1v1. After this, you want to back, buy, and do another full clear of your jungle. We do this as before level 6, where our ganks are okay, at level 6 they become almost free kills. So the sooner you rush to this huge power spike, the sooner you can get incredible value out of it. When choosing where to gank, consider the 3 main points of what CC does my team bring, what escapes do they have, and where is my lane push to. Ideally, you want to get onto a champion, stun them, ult them, and kill them while they're unable to play the game. After this, look to convert it into a dragon or herald. Getting a pick along with your spire advantage makes it incredibly tough to contest you. Entering the mid game, you're looking to play a pick and objective style of game. Keep up aggressive wards, run at the champion, pull them into your team for an easy kill, and then take a tower, dragon, herald, or baron. Entering late game team fights, you can play them in multiple different ways. Either way, you're playing the front line, but it depends if you want to go for their backline or protect your backline. If your backline's stronger, look to land your stun on anything going for your carries, and then of course using ultimate to drag anything away from them. But if their backline is stronger, throw out your E through their front line, run to them and stun them before dragging them back into your team.